What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sick Savage Life, where we're going to be following the insanity that is our life. Me and my girlfriend have been playing in a band for about 4.5 years or so. I've been playing rock and roll my whole life. I think the first band that I was in we started when I was like 12 or 13. And then when I was 14, I started playing in a thrash metal band. And we played shows pretty much at least like one or two a month throughout high school. So I got a lot of crazy stories for you guys. But I guess I had the idea to start the series first because of the big adventure that I'm going to be going on next year, either Portugal or in Baja, Mexico. And this past year has been kind of quiet, but it's been hell for me. I've been in the process of tapering off of methadone, which, opiates, heroin, Suboxone, methadone, Oxycontin, morphine, you name it. It has taken up, it's ruined a lot of the past. The last 12 of 14 years of my life. But I'm going to be going into an ibogaine treatment, which, if you guys don't really know what that is, it's a very powerful hallucinogen that derives from an African root, and I actually used it to get off of methadone the first time when I was 21, I think. But it worked phenomenally. I mean, I was young. I made a lot of mistakes since then. But this is the way to do it. I don't think I would have been able to get off methadone at all had it not been for my first experience with this. So, looking forward to it. I'm going to bring y'all along. In the meanwhile, I feel like I should catch y'all up with some stories from my past. There's a whole lot of crazy stories. But I guess I'm going to try and fit one or two in those 15 minutes that YouTube is going to give me probably to make this video. So I'll start with a story from when I was in high school. This took place in Tokyo, in Japan. I'd always, as a kid, been obsessed with Japanese culture, and so I'd always beg my parents for us to go on a trip to Japan, but they didn't really have that kind of money for us to just take a vacation there. So my friend had told me about this exchange program. There's no actual exchange, but where students go to stay with families in Japan. So me and my friend we went on this trip, and it was one of the greatest experiences in my life. But anyways, so most of it we stayed with the families, but then I guess the first night and the last couple nights we spent with the group in Tokyo and Kyoto. And my friend was his family lived pretty close to my family, so we talked a lot throughout the trip. And we saved our money. What we realized the first night in Tokyo is that I guess because everybody in Japan looks so young, and I guess they don't really have much gauge on Americans' age. We never really got carded going to bars. So we were just 14-year-olds like getting wasted in Tokyo. But so we saved up. Like me and my friend wanted to have some sort of blast to go out on. So we tried to save our money throughout the trip. We decided we wanted to go to like a strip club for the last night. And talking, we were 14, so like we had smoked a ton of weed, and we had partied before, but I'd never gotten like blackout drunk personally. I remember my friend telling me like this one time I got so drunk that I couldn't tell if I was standing up or sitting down. So I was like, dude, we gotta get that drunk tonight in Tokyo. So we went around getting drinks at like different clubs and stuff. And I remember the moment that I got like, I guess more drunk than I ever had in my life because we were leaving this last club. I had put my backpack in this locker type thing, and I remember trying to open this locker type thing, and like my fingers felt like giant Muppets, or my thumbs, and it took me like 10 minutes to coordinate opening this locker. Finally, I got my backpack out, and we started going down the street. But yeah, at this point we were pretty dysfunctional, and so yeah, I think the strip club didn't really pan out, but we were still kind of in that same mindset. So we just started stumbling down the street, hugging Japanese girls, and I don't know where we thought that would lead, but I guess that was just all we could really get it together to do. So I hugged this one girl, and realized that she's a lot older than me, probably in her like 40s, maybe early 50s, and she grabs my face, and she's like, "Oh, cute American boy," and pulls me into this like elevator type thing, and we go up to some strange, it's kind of like a reception type area. She hands me this menu. Everything's in Japanese, but pretty quickly I get an idea of what kind of place this is. It's like a massage parlor type place. And I realized, like, there's all these different items, and they all have different prices. I can't really see what it means, but I know there's a lot of options, and I can afford a lot of these things. So I look at my friend, and I'm like, dude, we've stumbled into a gold mine here. So, I was hoping that we were gonna, do get some sort of happy ending or something. But my friend wasn't really into the idea, I guess. He was like, no. I don't know, maybe, I don't know what he was thinking. I mean, I guess we were pretty young, but, I don't know. I mean, I feel like that having, some sort of experience with this Japanese lady of the night would have been, something to well, I guess it's a good enough story already, but I wish he wouldn't pulled us out of that. But yeah, he pulled me by like my t-shirt out of this place. So unfortunately, earlier we had found some hash from some like Middle Eastern guy. So we went back to our hotel, and we got really stoned with the other people in the group. But yeah, that was the closest time I ever got to sleeping with a Japanese prostitute. Let's see, what are some other stories I can tell quickly? Okay, this is a good one. This was also in high school. This was actually one of my good friends, who since has passed. Hopefully he's resting in peace wherever he is. But he was one of our best friends growing up. He'd always make us laugh, like the funniest dude in the entire planet. But he was always getting in trouble, and we always knew something bad would probably happen to him, unfortunately. But he was just this wild dude. He was one of the best wrestlers in high school in the state of Maryland. But he was this little guy, just outrageous character. So, anyways, one thing that we used to do for kicks, like over the summer, when at like grocery stores they would have those like watermelons in containers outside of grocery stores. We would just steal them because they're just sitting right out there, and it was pretty easy to run off of them. Usually we would just like throw them off of parking lots or whatever. Sometimes eat them. But so this time, my friend decides to grab one, and we're with him and me, and I think it was one of the guitarists of my old band. But me and the guitarist were a little separate from our friend. He grabbed the watermelon, and we realized a cop had seen him grab it. And we're all pretty stoned, but the cop is like, "Hey, freeze!" And he takes off sprinting. Because I've seen this dude escape several close calls. But so this cop takes off on his motorcycle, chasing after him, and and you know, me and my other friend, we're stoned, and we're like not good athletes or anything, so there's no way in hell we would have been able to keep up with him. But we were watching them take off. We're in Tenleytown, this small neighborhood in DC, where it's kind of our old stomping grounds. So we see them take off towards Fort Reno, which is a couple of blocks away. And we were able to keep up enough to watch it all like unfold from the distance. But so he keeps running and running and still like beating this cop. He starts running up the hill of Fort Reno, and the cop is getting pissed. So he's like driving on up this grass hill, really steep, like one of the highest hills in DC, on his motorcycle. Now at the top of Fort Reno, there's kind of this sketchy, like some sort of government facility that's fenced in, but on the side there's like this thin little strip that there's bushes that we used to go and smoke up there, but it's pretty hidden and pretty obscured. So they're getting to the top of the hill, and this cop is probably thinking like, I've got this kid trapped finally, there's this fence right here. So Evan, my friend, that's what we'll call him, I guess, for now. He turns around and, thinking fast, smashes a watermelon over the cop's head. And I guess being flustered, like, he had time to run in that cut, probably straight through to the other side, and then took off in the neighborhoods towards Rock Creek. But by the time the cop like took the watermelon off and figured out what's going on, he must have been long gone. So we were just like at the bottom of the hill, like cracking up. So yeah, that was pretty fucking funny. Let's see. There was one time. This is a short one. Also high school. One of our friends had ordered a bunch of mescaline online. So I guess it's apparently legal if you're of Native American descent or something, which he wasn't. But I guess somehow he managed to get this stuff. I was still a little frightened. Like, I had some bad experiences with mushrooms in the past. So I asked if I could take a little bit less than my friends. But I think they knew that I probably, once it kicked in, like, I would have been happy to take the full amount. So they still gave me the full amount of them. But so yeah, we drank this like thick, disgusting green sludge. We tried, it came in like a powder, and we poured orange juice in it, hoping that would maybe make it better, but it just turned like into this thick green sludge. But so we pound this shit down. It ended up making me feel pretty nauseous, but I was like afraid of puking, so I probably would have had a lot more fun had I just puked. But I guess because I'd feel nauseous, and then I'd start hallucinating, and then that's when I'd feel nauseous. But if you like move and kind of keep going, it would kind of get better. But anyways, so we start tripping. We just start walking down DC. We start in Friendship Heights, and we end up walking just miles and miles down Connecticut Avenue. We went through like the Million Mom March, so at one point we're just looking around, and all of a sudden we're surrounded by just like old ladies in pink, and we thought we were in like an alternate reality or something. But then we walked all the way to the zoo, which was probably like 4 miles from where we started. And I remember going in this store, just like smiling, and there are all these short shelves, but I'm just shoveling candy in each of my pockets. And I don't know how we didn't get caught. But yeah, so then we went to the zoo. We saw all sorts of like animals and shit, and we like bowed down to the cactuses and the craziest part was the invertebrate exhibit, seeing all these brightly colored, or I guess the sea invertebrates, yeah, just brightly colored stuff, yeah. But anyways, I think that's all we're gonna have time for today. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this, there's plenty more where this is coming from. So keep tuning in. I'll talk to y'all soon.